everyone, welcome to the Predictable Sales Canvas worksheet and training. This is actually step 4 of the Value Journey worksheet. Remember, we're starting at the Ascend stage. The AHA Accelerator was here at the Excite stage, and now we are here at the Convert stage. So we do this because it optimizes stage 4, that Convert stage. It makes revenue more scalable and predictable, and for schools, this would make leads and tours and ideally enrollments more scalable and predictable. And builds the perfect offer, and no more proposing on the first date like we went over with the customer avatar and the value journey. We don't want to propose on the first date. We want to lead prospective parents and students through a very specific funnel, optimizing each stage of the funnel. If we propose on the first date, then we're never going to get any leads or enrollment. So we do this to optimize for stage 4 here in the value journey, that Convert stage. So let's go over some principles very quickly. The triggering events, their idea, and ideal sales conversations. So let's get started. Here's the Predictable Sales Canvas worksheet. This is in the resources and documents section. Again, like with all other trainings, feel free to print this out or write it up on the whiteboard. If you're doing this with other students or other teachers or administrators, just throw it up on the whiteboard. Everybody can write down their ideas on sticky notes and then kill, combine, and transfer later on. If not, just go ahead and print this out. So step 1 in the Predictable Sales Canvas is clarifying your avatar and offer. Back to the customer avatar canvas. I told you guys that was going to be the number one most important framework for everything else we're doing. And we're revisiting it again here. So step 1 is clarifying your avatar and offer. So go ahead and make sure you write that down at the bottom of the worksheet. I like to use the example dedicated dad or stay-at-home mom, Sarah, but make sure, like all other trainings that I've mentioned, you're only working with one avatar at a time. Do not write dedicated dad at the bottom and then copy down the aha moments for another demographic. So just make sure you're working on one avatar persona at a time. Step 2 is brainstorm triggering events. So triggering events is the very first section of the Predictable Sales Canvas worksheet. And what is a triggering event? A triggering event is the internal and external forces that cause your prospect, your parent, to enter into or become aware of their before state. And you remember the before state on the avatar canvas, that column on the left is there. Why do triggering events matter? Well, triggering events create windows of opportunity where your prospective parent is far more likely to engage with and act upon your marketing message. And triggering events can inform where and when we should target our messaging to intersect with our prospect's greatest moment of need. You might remember a lot of this from the customer avatar training. If not, if you haven't done the customer avatar training, stop this video, do that first, and then come back. So let's brainstorm some triggering events. Triggering questions. What's going on in the life of my prospective parent that would cause them to seek a solution to the problem that my school solves? A lot of times, this does not sneak up on parents needing to enroll their child in school. They don't wake up one day and say, "Oh, I need to do that." They know what's coming. They understand that they have to get their child enrolled at a certain time or a certain age. So these triggering events don't come as a surprise to parents. But what we need to figure out is what causes them to seek a solution to that today, rather than next week or the week after. Is it a long waiting list? Is it because of the pandemic, a lot of parents are trying to get their children enrolled in in-person classes again? Is it because, pandemic is slowing down, so a lot of parents are going back to work, so they need to make sure that their children are in school. But try to come up with some triggering questions. What's going on in the life of my prospective parent that would cause them to seek a solution to the problem that my school solves right now? Fears and frustrations, what keeps these people up at night, what annoys or frustrates them. And you could relate these to schools or daycares or, activities that their children might participate in. What annoys and frustrates parents? What challenges do they face? Is it, the expense? Is it the hours don't really work for them? Is it, they're a single parent and they're trying to juggle everything? Next question, who or what is standing in their way? What are some key systems in their job or life that frequently fail? Is it they don't have a reliable car to get to work and to pick up their child? Or they're on call, maybe they work in a hospital or, public service, and they don't have consistency with their hours. What's something they're forced to interact with that's difficult to manage or understand? Is it, is it money? Is it, having extra hands for help? Is it bills? Is it, another person, the father or the mother or grandparents or partner or what? What features or lack of features do they regularly complain about in related products or service? This is where it would be helpful for you to interview current parents or probably not current students, but current parents, and figure out what they regularly complain about in relation to maybe your school or a different school that they had tried previously. It would be really good to send out a survey or get with parents over the phone or in person and ask them some of these questions. Don't guess, because if you guess and get it wrong, then we're going to be advertising the wrong thing. So be thinking about some of these triggering questions. Like I said, if you don't know any of these or if you're not quite sure, interview your current parents or interview prospective parents. Because especially this last question, what features or lack of features do they regularly complain about? If you're talking with a parent who's just coming in for a tour and they've toured 4 other schools, ask them why. Ask them what features or lack of features have they seen in other schools or do they see in your school, and get them to give you an honest answer. That way you can address it in your advertising. So triggering questions for wants and aspirations. What do they want for themselves? What do they want for the people around them, i.e. their children who are actually going to be going to the school? What do they aspire to be? What do they want their children to aspire to be? What goals have they set for their family? What values do they hold dear, and what are their secret desires? Again, if you're not sure, don't guess. Triggering questions related to life and seasonal changes. What holidays or seasonal changes might trigger a need or desire? What life events are both impactful to my audience and relevant to my offer? And what major events or meetings are they likely to attend? Now, I know the idea is enrollment for students, so you might be asking yourself, why are we bothering with these questions? I'm trying to get students. I'm not enrolling parents. Well, you are enrolling parents, and you're targeting parents in your advertising and your marketing, so you really have to speak to them because they're the ones that are going to be making the decision for their loved one. So you really need to be thinking about their needs and their wants and their fears, and what seasonal and life events might trigger those things. So here are just some seasonal triggers in a fancy graph. January, health, fitness, diet, organization, resolution. Everybody does their New Year's resolutions. February, there's some holidays, March, April, May, June. I'm not going to read off all of those. But these are just some holidays and days to think about that might trigger certain events. So brainstorm some triggering events and then write those down or put up some sticky notes on your whiteboard for triggering events for your demographic. Remember that we want to specifically write these for our customer avatar. It's easy to start thinking about triggering events for all different kinds of people, but we're only focusing on one avatar at a time. Just to recap, why triggering events matter: informed targeting, where you should advertise. Is it Facebook? Is it Google? Is it Twitter? Informed messaging, what you should say. Understanding triggering events and frustrations and fears means that you can address those things right off the bat, right before they even ask you. You can put in an ad. Hey, I know Christmas is coming up and things kind of get hectic around the holidays, but have you thought about enrollment for your child for next year's school for, September 2022? Enrollment ends on this date. Like, don't get caught up in the holidays and forget all about it. Things like that. And inform an initial offering, for example, an entry point offer. So step 3, identify the requesting action. Is the second section here on the Predictable Sales Canvas worksheet. So what is a requesting action? Requesting actions occur when a prospect takes an action that both acknowledges their need for help, the before state, and makes a deliberate attempt to seek your assistance in resolving their issue. So some examples: requesting a trial demo. For school, this is a tour, a walkthrough. It could be a webinar. It could be a parents' happy hour. Or it could be a half day where parents bring their children in and actually sit with the class, maybe for an hour or two or for a half day. But a trial demo for a school could be any one of those things. Make an initial purchase. That's not quite relevant for school. I left it in there just because I want you guys to be thinking outside the box, and I want you to see all these examples on how this stuff is used in business and how you can relate it to schools. But making an initial purchase is not exactly relevant. That could be setting up that initial tour, or making that initial call for more information. Attending a webinar. Walk into a physical location. That's what I just mentioned, having parents either come in for a happy hour or having their parent and child come in for an hour or two or a half day to sit in. Schedule a consulting or strategy session. And that is you scheduling a one-on-one phone or in-person or over the web Zoom session, talking to the parent and discussing what they learned or what they liked or didn't like about your school. And the rule here is no commitment, no requesting action. So methods of commitment is time and money. Entry point offers, got cut off here, but entry point offers establish micro commitments that convert strangers into friends. Remember, no marriage on the first date. That entry point offer establishes that micro commitment. That walkthrough establishes that's a first date. That's that micro commitment. So write this down. Entry point offers are the tools we use to engineer requesting actions from your prospects. And let's take a look at some examples. For these softwares called Help Scout and Infusionsoft, these are just online demos and free trials. You guys have seen these everywhere. For Digital Marketer Company, it is a free webinar. I'm sure you probably attended a webinar to get where you are today. I'm sure you've seen Jono's webinars. He does those as well to initiate that micro commitment before he asks for any sort of commitment. And splinters of the main offer, those are guitar picks. It's not selling the guitar and the strings. It's just selling one splinter. The candle, the wick holders, that's not selling the jars and the wax and everything else. That's just selling the one splinter of that main offer. It's the candle wicks. And then a la carte service offering, $20 off a sofa and chair cleaning. And like I said, I leave these in here just because I want you guys to see real examples from business $20 off sofa and chair is not relevant to a school, obviously, but hopefully it'll get you thinking about how you could create an offer similar to this for your own marketing. So triggering events cause this. The before stage. Requesting actions confirm the after stage. An entry point offer, EPO, as you see over here, requesting actions and EPO, entry point offer, serves as a requesting action when it not only establishes a micro commitment, but it also informs need and intent, which is the desired after. An entry point offer serves as a requesting action when it not only establishes a micro commitment, but it also informs need and intent. So let's brainstorm some entry point offers that also function as requesting actions. Brainstorming entry point offers. What's something you could offer? What's something your prospect would only buy or register for if they had a problem challenge that you could solve? This is the tour. This is the in-person walkthrough of your space. This is that initial introduction to meet you and some other teachers and to see your school. They're not buying or registering necessarily for anything yet unless they're registering for a webinar. But I think this entry point offer is that initial tour. What valuable part of your main offer can you splinter off and deliver on an a la carte basis to deliver value in advance and get your foot in the door? This might not necessarily be relevant because parents are either going to enroll their child in your school or they're not. Unless you offer some after-school program or some activities day or something else that you could offer that's not the full sale of an actual enrollment, but something else, something that's a minor commitment. So if there's anything valuable that's part of your enrollment that you can splinter off, like those guitar picks or candle wicks, and deliver on an a la carte basis in advance, that's great. Go ahead and do that, but that might not necessarily be relevant here. But that's okay. And what little victory can you deliver that will cause your customer to believe that you have the ultimate solution to your problem? And this could be, the child coming in to sit for a half a day and making a friend, or working on a little craft project, something that that child can maybe take home, or something that they would remember is a little victory, and that causes your customer, your parent, to believe that you might be the best option for their kid. If that parent and student come in for about an hour or two, and they leave with something tangible, or a learning experience, the child has a great time, that's an entry point offer that could make that parent believe, like, yes, this is the school that I want my child to attend. So what's something your prospect would only buy or register for if they had a problem challenge? Again, these are just free online training from companies that are not quite relevant to schools, but just so you see what they're offering. Mini flashlights, candle wicks again. And that could be a web designer that sells logos, a dentist that sells teeth whitening at cost, a roofer that offers gutter cleaning, hosting services that sell website templates, junk removal service that offers to take away an old TV. For a school, I hate to sound like a broken record, but if you have an after-school program, or if you have any kind of program, or a reading program, or like a webinar, or any kind of activity that you can offer these parents and children as a splinter offer, go ahead and do that. If not, that's totally okay. Schools don't usually have things like that unless they're a large specialty school. So what's a little victory you can deliver that will cause your customer to believe that you have the ultimate solution to their problem? A back pain clinic that offers hope that relief is possible. Weight loss product that makes users feel thinner in 7 days. Kitchen remodeler that lets its customers see how beautiful their kitchen can be. Before and after pictures. You could offer, some anonymous test scores before and after. You could show, art projects and progress reports and things like that. You're giving them hope. You're giving these parents hope. And turnkey email campaign that generates leads for an otherwise stagnant business. So brainstorm some requesting actions and put them on your sheet or whiteboard. Step 4, confirm the AHA. We just went over the AHA Accelerator in the last video. If you have not done that worksheet and training yet, then stop this video, go ahead and complete that, and then come back. So the AHA is here. It's the third box on the Sales Canvas worksheet. And just to recap, the AHA moments is when the true core value clicks with the customer, the parent, transforming your school from a nice to have into a must have. There needs to be something that transforms your school from a, sure, it would be nice if my kid went here, yeah, into a, my kid must go here. We must get them enrolled. And again, the ah is wonder and the ha is understanding. Again, with the Twitter example, getting them to follow 30 people. Constant contact, offering a newsletter template builder. And then the phone. So be thinking of some aha moments that you could offer. So quick reality check. Does the requesting action deliver a true aha experience? Go back to your requesting action, see what you have in that column, and then be thinking of whether or not they deliver that aha experience. Think of whether or not they would make your parent say, okay, we're done looking, my kid needs to go here. So step 4, outline your ideal sales conversation. And that is the last box in the predictable sales canvas. An idea sales conversation occurs when you know for a fact that a prospect both needs and wants what you have to offer, and the sale is all but guaranteed. So this happens when you know for a fact that the parent needs and wants your school, and the sale is all but guaranteed, or the enrollment is all but guaranteed. In other words, you're able to say, since I know you want to enroll your child, the obvious and logical next step is to blank. Or since I know that you want the best for your child, since I know you want a great education for your child, since I know you want to make sure that your child receives the specialized one-on-one attention that they need and deserve, the obvious and next logical step is to blank. Let's look at an example. Since we've been dating for an extended period of time, and I know you want to get married because we've talked about it a lot, the next logical step is for me to give you this ring so we can make it official. Super cheesy example, but I put this in here because we keep talking about the asking for marriage on a first date. But it's relevant because it gives that before, and then it gives the after. But how can we be this certain? How can we know for a fact that the prospect needs and wants what we have to offer? How can we know for a fact that the parent needs and wants our school? In other words, how can we say, since I know you want blank, without sounding like a pushy and annoying salesperson? The answer is the entry point offer or requesting action gives us all the certainty. They started the conversation when they performed that requesting action, when they showed up for that tour or the webinar, or they came in for a half day to let their child see the school and sit with the class. We know because they did that, they started the conversation and they are interested in what we have to offer. They are already interested in the school because it was their idea. So some examples. The guitar picks again. Since you just purchased a bunch of candle wicks, I'm guessing you're planning to make a candle. If so, would you be interested in our waxes and molds? I think we can safely say that anybody that purchases candle wicks would also be interested in waxes and molds, and they are very likely to buy from the same company. Guitar picks. Since you just purchased 100 guitar picks, I'm guessing you like guitars. If so, would one of these guitars interest you? For Infusionsoft, it's signing up for a demo. Excuse me. And their convert state is, since you just signed up for our demo, I'm guessing you're looking for a marketing automation solution. For a digital marketer, since you want to build and grow your in-house marketing team, would you like to use our tools and certifications? For the sofa and chair cleaning, since you had me remove that disgusting stain from your chair, I'm guessing you prefer cleanliness over filth. Would you like me to clean the whole carpet now? And it would be very hard for somebody to say no if that person is already in their house offering to do it for them. So entry point offers are the secrets to selling without being blank or blank, pushy or creepy. Entry point offers are the secret to selling without being pushy or creepy. Let's not stalk our parents. Let's not be pushy. Let's not be creepy. We're simply saying, since you did this and you're interested in this, how about this? And the job of marketing is not to close the sale. Its job is to start an ideal sales conversation. So, your ideal sales conversation. Since I know you want blank, the after, the obvious and logical next step is to blank, and then describe that ascend action. Since I know you want the best for your child, since I know you want to make sure that your child is taken care of and they get the specialized needs or the specialized attention that they need, since I know you want nothing but the best for your child and you want them to have an amazing education and go to college, the obvious and logical next step is to blank, and then describe the ascend action. Step 5 is identifying your ideal convert offer. It's time to choose the requesting action. Which entry point offer or requesting action addresses the strongest triggering event, delivers an aha experience, and funnels seamlessly into an ideal sales conversation? So, entry point offer checklist, impulse buy, low barrier to entry. That could be, a webinar or a phone call. Speaks to the experience of your audience already having, their before state. You're speaking to experiences these parents are already having. Useful but incomplete, promises a specific benefit, delivers a quick win or a little victory, creates micro commitment, creates high perceived and actual value, funnels seamlessly into the ascend stage. Print this out or copy this down because it's very important that all of these things need to happen before you can ask for the enrollment. And that's it. That's the predictable sales canvas. I know I went a little bit fast, but watch the video again, pause it in places, ask questions in the Facebook group or in the live Q&A calls if you have any. But it's really important to complete this worksheet and get this done because we need to write down exactly what offers we're making our demographic, what requesting actions they're going to respond best to, what their aha moments are, and then how to get that sale in the end by saying, since you did this requesting action, I'm guessing you need this or you want this, or we can assume this. So yeah, congrats on finishing that, and let us know if you have any questions. We'll see you in the next video.